Okay, no, so Dami is watching PJ Masks. I got him started. It is about 6:30. It's 6:36 in the morning, and I was excited for this because here's the thing. So, like I was saying before, I was helping Dami. Shout out to the gentleman Ray at Nevada Realty. He's the person that we bought our house from. He was really a great guy. This was 2014. He still sells houses. He's actually one of the guys that he's really big into Rolex, and I kind of like listen to him talk about Rolex. But I really appreciate that gentleman. And the thing was, and I can only tell you about my experience because, granted, my wife she wasn't my wife at the time. We were just dating. Um, but I wanted to tell you about kind of what we went through. So I spent about like 6 months looking. So I would say not every weekend, but probably every other weekend, every few weekends, I would come and I would see Ray at Nevada Realty. No, I love Ray. He was really cool. I started to feel bad because I'd say we looked at a lot of houses. We would look at a couple every because the town we moved to was like an hour away from where both of us worked. So I was the one that was like, I want to move. So I was the one that took the initiative to find the house. At the end of the day, one person has to make the decision and that person has to take responsibility for whatever happens. And that's what I told my wife. Like we looked at houses, dozens of houses over the course of 6 months. But I told her, I said, look, when I find the house that I want, I will know and I will tell you. And when I found this house after 6 months of searching, I almost was ready to give up. I really was. I was almost ready to give up. And then I found the house that we ended up buying. And I even told my wife, I said, look, this is the house I want. And if, and we were only dating. And granted, I think we're married now, but I don't think it's really that much different because, I was born and raised in the Bay Area, and my mother, I understand that she doesn't feel the same way about the Bay. I talked to her a few days ago, and I was telling her that I'm actually seriously considering moving back to the Bay Area. And her main concern was, it's dangerous and that everything's kind of falling apart. And my main thing, and I tried to explain to her, and I hope she understood, is that, I don't look at the situation the same way she does. I was born and raised in San Francisco Bay Area. I was born at in San Francisco General Hospital, excuse me. And so I tried to tell her, I was like, what kind of person would I be if, based on my circumstances, I have a certain set of skill sets that might be advantageous to the situation that's going on right now in the Bay Area? What kind of person would I be if 15 years from now my son asked me, what things were like, and I'm not able to look at him and say, look, I didn't do my part to actually try to make this place the way it was when I grew up. I felt like it was a very safe place. I mean, granted, there was a lot of things going on back in the 80s and 90s, but I don't know. There were so many great things about growing up in San Francisco that I really appreciated. I really appreciated the culture, the fact that every group was kind of represented. You could go to Japantown, Chinatown, everything, Koreatown. I'm just saying, like, I love that. I really do. So, and this is one thing that I like doing too is I just like talking about properties. I like saying why I like it, why I don't like it. And what I know is my home. So, and granted, I know a lot of stores have changed, but kind of like the main demographics, kind of the location that I'm looking at. Sorry, I didn't have a point to that story with Ray, but just that he's a great guy, and that if anyone is looking for a property through Nevada Realty, I have personal experience. I know there's a lot of great realtors that work in Nevada Realty, and I actually was trying. There was a time when I was trying when my son was first born, and I was trying to do a bunch of stuff. We were remodeling the house. I was trying to get my realtor license, and I was trying to get back into shape. So I was doing all these things at the same time. But I think this is something I would like to do or excuse me, when I move back home, because I have kind of no. I take it back. I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna plan it out slowly. So I'm gonna go in a few weeks. I'm gonna go home. I might just see a few properties, maybe like my top 5. I might see like one a day. very casually, I'll just probably contact the realtor that's selling the property and just be like, I haven't even, because I really just want to feel out. I just want to feel it out. I haven't been home in a long time. And granted, I love it. And I have visited, but I haven't lived there since '99. So, um, and I went back for summers and stuff. But I'm very long-winded. Let me get into, but I realized if you're here, you either A, enjoy my content, B, you appreciate me, or C, you want to, at the very least, see someone who's trying a bunch of different things. So here we go. So this first one is a rental. And okay, so I'm going to give you the reasons why I like each one. So the reason I like this one, actually, the main reason, this is actually doesn't fit for our family. So it really doesn't. This is a rental. This is to rent. 32. I just thought this was like if I was single, or if someone was single, this is fucking awesome. So it's 1509 El Camino Real, number 201. I'll read it to you. 1-bedroom condo in new 11-unit boutique building in Burlingame's finest location, minutes from BART, SFO, and Burlingame Avenue. Offered for below market rate application only. Annual income less than 120. So fortunate for us, that would be us. All right, Dami, here, let me show you the pictures. So they're absolutely right. You don't want to downplay, like, the reason that I love this area, like Millbrae, San Mateo, Burlingame, Foster City, San Bruno, South San Francisco, what else? Pacifica. What else do we have there? Daly City. I mean, there's so many little cities. There's so many little cities. Thank you, but do you mind just giving me a few minutes? Thank you. So I loved, when I lived back in the Bay Area, I loved literally just being able to either walk or take the BART to the airport. Like it was like 2 stops. All I'm saying is, like, it was just beautiful. That's a beautiful thing, having like an easy mass transit in order to get to either like the airport or just basically. Oh, and the other thing is a BART. So right there, what's really amazing. I'll show you a picture actually. Let me. This I love. I just love the look. Really, for $3,200 to rent. Like if someone wasn't sure, like if someone was like if someone asked me, yo, I hear what you're saying about the Bay Area. I trust your opinion because like you've lived a bunch of different places, and I like your attitude and what you have to say. But $3,200 for 700 square feet, yeah, because of the location. And really, here's the thing with 700 square feet. I mean, it's really just a big place to entertain. It's like one room, and like you're living in such a prime place that everyone knows that you don't have a lot. I mean, everyone is 700 square. I mean, you're going for quality. You're going, and that's the one thing that was like beat into my head as a child, is like quality over quantity. I'll be the first to tell people, like, I mean, I've only had sex with 5 women. I mean, my shortest relationship was the person that I dated right before my wife, which was like maybe a few months. But my high school sweetheart, like, I think, what was that? Like, I mean, you're in high school, so like, but it was a while. It was like over a year. And like my biggest worry in high school, that's why I can't, when people talk, like everyone just speaks for them. My biggest worry in high school, or my biggest concern, was like avoiding my girlfriend's friends. Like, dude, women are very aggressive, and maybe that's where I get it from. But I'm just saying, like, I really just, I'm like a one woman kind of guy. I just wanted to be with my girlfriend in high school. And so a lot of my time was spent just like chemistry and biology were the worst. Dude. Like these ladies were absolutely gorgeous. And then like they knew, like I can't lie, like they knew I cared about my girlfriend. So, and then, okay, sorry. So then look, I know you don't care about this and I'm just telling you my personal life here for some reason, but no one's really watching my videos. So, and then, I had my college sweetheart who I dated pretty much. Shout out to you, Patty Ryman. No, she was amazing. I was a piece of shit. I really was. We lived together after we both graduated from college, and yeah, I think it was just circumstantial. I know she doesn't talk to me anymore, and I think it's because I'm an asshole. But we after college we lived together, and this was like in 05, 05, 04, 05. But my father was diagnosed with cancer, and I moved out to Vegas to help my mother. And then, well, he passed away in the anniversary is coming up next week, actually, December 10th. But what was that? 2006, actually. So I was 25 years old, and then that his impact on me made me want to. My only regret is I wasn't able to join the academy. I wanted him to see me get sworn in as a police officer, but he passed away before that could happen. But what was I talking about? Oh, okay. Oh, I don't know. My point is the quality over quantity. Like I don't know who I was talking to about this, and I know I'm in the minority, but a lot of people, because I look at this the same way I look at a relationship, right? So you have the choice. You could say, look, everyone compares and everyone has numbers, right? But you could do numbers as like, I want to be with this amount of people one time, or my thing was like, well, what if I just want to be with a small amount of people, but with each person I want to experience a lot of things. So some people, they brag about like how many women they've slept with. I mean, like, I've only been with 5 women, but I mean, if you think about it, I mean, some of these women I had sex with like twice a day. So it's like, I mean, I was telling my wife, I'm like, and I'm just saying, like, we've probably had sex over 5,000 times. So I'm just saying, like, if 5 people, and granted, one relationship was like a few months, so that's like maybe a couple hundred, but I'm just saying, like, if you take the general average, like, you're talking about, 10 to 15,000 times that I got to enjoy having sex with the women that I was with. And, I'm okay with the number being low, because for me, it was about the quality. So that's my long-winded, half-assed way of explaining that I don't think a lot of people are going to care that this isn't a big square footage apartment. I mean, you're making up for it with the location. You're making up for it with how much quality you feel like everywhere you look. So like that's my big deal too. Everything that you touch should feel like quality. Everything that you're looking at should look like it's high quality. And so even if I love the flooring, and the light, how the lighting wraps around like that. I'm not good with words sometimes in the morning. No, and this little space there. Really, I think what I'm trying to do is I'm working out all the kinks in my game here, and then maybe in a couple years, actually, I'll I'll be able to do this. Like, that's the goal, right? Every day is a little investment into the improvements that I hope to accomplish over the course of 10 years. And I think that's what a lot of times I don't realize, or I just underestimate, is that a lot of times you don't really see, like, if you're just doing a small little investment every day, you might not see the change over 10 years. But, if you don't see someone, or you speak to someone who hasn't seen you in a while, they're like, damn. And it might look like it might look like an impossibility, but, sometimes those little investments make the biggest difference. Okay, so that was my top rental. So probably you could cut to this moment in the video. I'm going to probably put that in. I'll just be like, cut to this moment. But if you want top rental, this is what I like. It's right. Oh, and I'm sorry, I didn't show you why this is the number one choice for me. If I was single, or sorry, if I was just looking for a studio 1-bedroom. But I love this aspect. So, because this is a big deal in the Bay Area. I'm sure it is in other places too, but did I pass the schools? It's hard to talk and like read at the same time. I don't know if anyone else has that same problem. There it is. This is where I went to high school, Burlingame High School, and I just have a dream that I'd love my son or my daughter, or whoever, people that are my children, people that I'm related to, that I care about. I'd love to see him go to Burlingame High School. I thought it's such an awesome high school. When I go back home, I'm gonna just video it, because it's such a badass fucking high school. It really is. It really is. It really is. There was such amazing. What's funny is one of my English teacher in high school, wrote a book that my wife had to like do a seminar about. And I'm just like, how small is this world that like people who influenced me as a child and impacted me as a child are writing books that like my wife gets to speak about in front of other people. I think that is what's so beautiful about this. So absolutely, if someone asked me, would I pay $3,200 for a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 731 square feet? Excuse me. Absolutely, I would. All right. So that's my today's choice, or yesterday. I found these yesterday. This one I like. I can't explain why. Well, no, I can. So I love the number. So when I first saw this, no, the location is beautiful too. You're really in a good spot. But I was like, what? They're asking $888,888. The only thing I wish is if they put like 88 cents right there. um, okay, so I love this because I don't mind where you have to walk in this communal area. I think a lot of times some people don't necessarily like this, but I kind of do. Like if it's a a good area, and this is, in my opinion, a very good area. And what's funny too is the house we live in now is about the same thing. It's 1,100 square feet. It's just we're sitting on an acre lot. But my thing is, I didn't anticipate how much work maintaining an acre lot is. I mean, we wanted to have chickens. We wanted to do a lot of stuff, but I'm like, I would spend my whole life trying to maintain this property. So I do love this. This is gorgeous. This kitchen is absolutely beautiful. And I grew up with this. Like, my mom and dad, like, they lived in a bunch of different places, and this is kind of the standard, like that breakfast. That's where I usually ate most of my meals. Was sitting on that bar area. Maybe that's why I like bars so much. No, I'm just messing around. Actually, I'm not a big bar guy. I like a little bit of privacy better. All right, so I like to be near bars, I guess. Um, I love the paint, the lights. I do love the recessed lights. That's one thing I appreciate. It's actually, I think, a very big room. Very clean, like this to me is move-in ready. Everything is just the appliance, or all the fixtures and everything. They look like they've been cleaned really well, or they're very recently been changed out. This bathroom is perfect. I love this. I really do. I really, here's the thing. Now I'm about just efficiency, like how much is the most that I need to be able to fully enjoy myself, but nothing really more extra than that, because then it just complicates things and it makes it. I'd rather spend extra money on traveling, enjoying myself, experiences. The only thing, like here, I'm not a huge fan of that. So like with the railing right there, having my two sons and stuff, like I'm not a huge fan of that. In this instance, I kind of would appreciate like the third floor a little bit more. I think I would like to be on the top floor. Now this one I love, and the location is very primo too. They remodeled it, and I feel like I literally feel like they remodeled it for me. I feel like this place, I feel it's so strange. I feel like this was made for me. So here we go. So this is one Appian, I don't know, one Appin Way, Unit 714-6, South San Francisco, California. So 880,000, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,400 square feet. So the hard part with pricing is that some prices are relative and they're not. So this, I think, when you say, well, it's a condo, yeah, it's a condo. I mean, you're giving up the exterior, you're giving up your yard and all that stuff. But I think what you're gaining with this is the interior space. I mean, this is pretty big and really private. and they remodeled it in such a way, if you like this style, which I do, I think this is a real bargain. So let's just go through this. I love the contrast of the white and the black. They do that really well. I love, this is what I was doing in my kitchen as well. I mean, I'm not done. So I'm like 95, no, I'm about 90, yeah, I'm about 95% done with everything. Everything else that I still have to do with the house that we currently own is all cosmetic stuff. So it's just like I'm doing this artistic wood decoration in the kitchen. I have to finish putting the handles on the drawers. Everything is just basic stuff. It's nothing like all the drywall, the putting in the hardwood floor, the like making doorways again. I mean, granted, I do have to clean up. I have to clean up like the touch-up work is all that's left. And I kind of ran out of steam when I was doing it, but this is really takes the spirit of what I was trying to accomplish and shows it at 100%. So I love how clean that is. I love that. I really do. And we have the same thing right here. That is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. That's the thing I love. I love that feeling when I walk in the kitchen and I just feel like it's clean, it's sterile, it's like an environment that's welcoming of just being able to do so. I don't like clutter. I don't like a bunch of stuff everywhere. I mean, you know, holidays and things like that's different, but just constantly stuff everywhere. I don't necessarily, I'm not a big fan of this. This is nice, you know. Minimalistic, you know, minimalistic. You know what I would do? I would put maybe like an accent wall, just because I feel like this does need to get broken up. Like, so I did these accent wood. It's just like it looks like shiplap basically. I used to watch Chip and Joe all the time, so I love Chip and Joe. But all right, here we go. That I do. The only thing though is I've heard, I've never experienced like showers like I've heard they don't get hot. I don't know, so I'll have to like maybe one day I'll know what it feels like to be like, that's what someone or people have told me, like when you're in these bigger showers and then you don't have something to shut the door, or maybe, I mean, you could put like a roller with a glass. So that's an easy solution. So I take it back. And actually, I would make this a really cool area, because there's sometimes I do like to sit while I'm in the shower. So like, I just think like maybe having a massage chair or something like that. I'm just making suggestions of what I would do. I do love this as well, because it's that rain, that, and then think about if you just had like some just like a nice, you know, portable speaker, and then you have that there, and that's, I'm sure that would sound really, really good. Just be able to relax. Yes, there you go. Right, right. His and hers. We got to share the office. Okay, office is to be shared. No, I would let my wife. My wife has an office at work, and she has you know, everything that, you know, she's showing everything that she's accomplished, and I think that's important. You know, if that's something that you want to do. All right, so here we go. Just clean, you know, very basic. I love the view. So that's the other thing, the view here, and especially at night. Okay. And see, this is, I do love the roll doors. So I did that. My goal was to do that for all the rooms, to have the roll, because I prefer that. It's easier. Then my son, he can't slam the doors. No, he's going through it. He went through a phase where he was always slamming the door on me. It was so annoying. It was, there are all these little phases that they go through, and then they just grow out of. They grow out of them. They really do. They grow out of phases. It's just you don't know when they're gonna grow out of it. Okay. I love the floor too. I think it's like a stained concrete. Or no, sorry, it's wood. Just very clean. I like it a lot. I really do. I don't like to have a bunch of stuff everywhere. I don't want to have a bunch of stuff. I don't want to have to worry about a bunch of stuff. That's my main thing. I just want to have, the reason I really like this too is that you can just put a bunch of artwork. Like the walls are basically made for art, you know, and then you could have people over, you could have conversations, you know, you could have music. I love that too. You could separate. I just feel like this is a very good home where if you like to entertain small groups, that's what I love to do. I love to have just a small group of people and that I can feel comfortable with or around, and then just enjoy myself and act silly. Okay. No, I think they did the space extremely well. They maximized this space extremely well. I love it. I really do. Whoever designed this or whoever did this, hats off to you. Really, hats off to you. You made it, man, brilliant. I really, I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like, I went through all these pictures and I'm like, this is an amazing job. I don't think I could have done it any better. I really don't. And the location here, so I'll show you. What's funny is one of my best friends. So I had three best friends, and well, I had three. No, I take it back. So my number one best friend was my girlfriend, and she was like we hung out every day, in the morning, and then after school as well, and then you know during school I just like avoided her friends because like no, I'm kidding. Her friends never wanted me, but I maybe you know what it is. I'm so conceited. I probably thought that her friends wanted me. All right, so here we go. No, but one of my good male best friends, he shout out to you, Sev. He's actually in the medical field, so I have a lot of respect for him. Him and his wife, they're both nurses. Shout out to nurses. Shout out to, my mom was a nurse. My mom does a practice. She does private stuff now. Excuse me. But I really appreciate it, and that was the one thing. I grew up in hospitals watching my mom work, and really I grew up. And I grew up around her taking care of older people and basically watching them die, but not in a bad way. It's like I got to talk to older people when I was a child and see that transition and that that humbling experience that happens when you're on the last part of your life. So you're right off the highway right here. So basically, okay, so can I go satellite? So this is what I love. I'm going to zoom out. Okay, so you're right there. This is a gorgeous area. So you have a lot of food, places to eat. Okay, like I'm not going to be perfect because I don't remember everything, but you go up this way, you have Saramonte. You go this way, you have Pacifica, Daly City, Nations, one of the best hamburger places to go. So here you would hop on the highway, you come south here. So you're about, I mean, I've extended the distance to the airport by maybe like 15 minutes. So this might take you about 15 minutes to get. Depends. It really does, because I used to drive really crazy when I was younger. So I don't want to say times. Now I really do try to drive very carefully. I crashed too many cars, and now I don't know if I want to drive anymore. You know what I mean? I actually prefer being a passenger in a vehicle. I really do. So the other spots were like right here where the hand is. And so basically all you do is you cross over the highway. So I love this area. So I would say if someone was looking, you can go south. Here's the thing. You can go south into Palo Alto. I don't mind that. And I know a lot of my mom's friends, and I know my mom doesn't watch now, but probably one day she will watch. And my mom is like 71 years old. So I'm probably going to start doing a better job at making myself more professional, because I know eventually people that I do know will eventually start watching what I create. Or I would like to believe that, maybe they might. Or actually, you know what? No one that I know, please do not watch my content. It's boring. It sucks. So here's the thing. So you go to Palo Alto. If you live in Palo Alto, for me, you compromise the distance to San Francisco. So, and then if you live in San Francisco, you kind of compromise the distance to Palo Alto. So I think the airport is actually placed in the perfect location. And I think living kind of like in this area. So this is like, this top here would be like San Bruno, South San Francisco. Even this house that I found, this perfect house, condo, excuse me, is just like in that area, in this sweet spot area, like this right here, bam, that right there to me, it's kind of like a banana. No, is it? Does it? Like, let me see. I could be completely wrong. Ah, it's like I don't know what it looks like, right? Is that what people tell you? Like whatever you see, that's what you're thinking about. I think that's how words work too. Like whatever you say, that's what you're thinking about. Because like that's what I always tell my wife. I'm like, you don't know what I'm thinking about. What you say is what you're thinking about. If you're talking about something, that's what you're thinking about doing. I'm concerned with improving our life, improving my life, the life of my son, the life of my second son, who is about to be born here in June. You gotta go potty, bud? Okay, he's gonna go potty. I'm gonna get him some food. Thank you for this. I don't know how long this was, but I really enjoyed it. I know I fumbled through, and I'm not gonna cut it because then I'm like, I want to watch it. So if I cut it, it's like I'm cutting out the points where I made a mistake, and eventually I'm gonna look back at these and I want to learn from myself. So thank you. I love you. This is something this actually I really do enjoy. Just looking at properties. And that's the thing too, is if someone doesn't like what I like, that's cool, and if you do, and you want me to just like show you, or just to kind of I mean, you could have a consultant, like you could be looking at properties, and you have your realtor, and you have your property consultant too, because that's the other thing is like, I haven't lived in the area, but I do have 20 years experience, or not, excuse me, fine, 18 years experience in the Bay. And that was when I was a kid, when I was just doing everything. So I think I had more I think as a child, you have definitely more exposure. So, but I think that maybe that could be like a new career. Like you're a real estate consultant. Because at the end of the day, here's the thing. The realtor wants to sell the property. So the faster like I understand Ray's position. I understand every realtor's position. They want to show you maybe 3 or 4 houses, 5 houses at the max, and then they want you to buy one. They do. They don't want to spend 6 months with you. I'm sure Ray did not, and here's the thing, the house that I bought, that's why Ray is super cool. That's why Ray is such a badass dude, because I realized that the house that I bought is a fraction of the cost of most of the people that live in this community. And it's a fraction of the cost of most of the people that my wife works with, how much they're able to afford. But for me, the measure of the individual is not how much money they have. It's how they treat people. And that's what I appreciated about Ray. Even though he sold a $127,000 house, he treated me like $1 million. And that is something that money can't buy. So thank you for everything. I appreciate you, and I look forward to coming home. And I think this, that's the thing. So a realtor, that's what I appreciated about Ray. But I think a lot of people, they may not have the willpower to be like, no, I'm going to wait because this house is going to show up and it's going to be amazing. And it's going to be exactly what I wanted. I'm not going to have to settle. And if you're alone, sometimes, you and the realtor, sometimes people can kind of like use tactics to kind of get you to want to do what they want you to do. And I'm like, well, if you have someone who's like, okay, let me explain to you why this is not a good, like in private, I'm saying like your consultant is looking for your happiness, I believe. So like if someone hired me and said, look, I want to live in this area, find me the best thing, I would work by the hour. So that might be a different situation where I might be like, you know what, it might take you 6 months to find a really quality property. And then if I'm filming it and posting on my channel, like we can go through and we could be like, okay, like these were good properties. Let's analyze this. Let's talk about why you like that. And then little by little, I think that's what I did on my end when finding this house, is that little by little, like through the course of those 6 months, little by little, I was like narrowing down like what I wanted, and every wrong house steered me towards the right house. And it just slowly worked almost like a pyramid to where it became like this tipping point. And then I found what I wanted and I didn't hesitate. I moved on it, and that's what I think people confuse my tactics with never doing anything. It's not that I'm it's not that I can't or don't want to make moves. It's just that I'm waiting for exactly what I want. And once I find exactly what I want, I'm going to make a move on it. And if I wouldn't have got the house, then I would have kept looking. You know, that's the other thing. Or I would have kept looking somewhere else. So I'm going to just keep looking in the Bay Area. I just started my search a few weeks ago, I think a couple weeks ago. So I think within 6 months of going, because I'm anticipating probably going a couple times. You know, I'm going here in December. I might go back, you know, February, or, you know, maybe I might here. That's the other thing too. I might go back, just hang out, look at maybe, you know, I'm going to be there for a week. Maybe I look at one property a day for 5 days, because I really don't, or maybe I only look at 3 properties, like my top 3. I don't want to be looking at properties all the time. So I might actually look at my top 3 just based on me knowing the area. I might just physically go to the top 3 and call up the realtors that are listing them, and then just talk to those people and not actually have a realtor. That's actually what I think I'm going to do. I'm just going to say, look, I'm interested in moving back to the area. I just wanted to talk to you because you're a realtor here. And then kind of just, and then, you know, maybe I just like hit it off with them, and then like maybe they can get, I'm all about like talking to people and getting as much information. I know a lot of people look at that as like, maybe I learned that, or I got that from being a cop, is like, when I talk to someone, my goal is to extract as much information from that person as possible, but in a good way. Like I'm trying, so if it's real estate, I'm trying to gain as much real estate knowledge. If I'm investigating a crime, I'm going to say whatever I have to say in order to get all the information out of you, right? So like whatever the purpose is of my conversation, I will then gear whatever I need to do in order to accomplish what I'm trying to do. So, and I think that can be, we confuse that. That can be taken good and bad. Everything can be used for positive and negative. It's up to the individual to decide how they want to use their powers. Thank you. I love you. Have a blessed day. How long did I go for? Oh, 38 minutes. That's not bad. I'll take that. I love it. I'll take that. I'm going to post it, I think, on the weekend. Who knows? Who knows when I'm going to post this? I think I'm only a couple days ahead. But, you know, I'm trying. My goal was to try to get like a week ahead with videos. But as ideas pop up in my head, I realize that's what I'm going to start doing. Excuse me. I had to belch. I'm going to check up on my son. I'm going to drink my coffee. I'm going to relax. I'm going to stretch. That's what I need to get back into. No, I want to do it. I need to stretch. I just need to like sit in silence more. I really do. And granted, I know my son loves to scream at me. He does. I told my wife yesterday, I was like, I spent 10 years with people screaming at me, telling me how much of a piece of shit I am. But now I just have my son screaming at me. At least I eliminated the aspect where people were telling me that I was a piece of shit, they were going to kill me, and they were going to fuck my wife. That was like all I heard for 10 years. All right, well, I wasn't married to my wife the whole time, but I was dating her. But thank you. I love you. Have a blessed day. Bye.